Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of No Huddle with Zach Arndt. And today we're going to be taking a look at the Vanderbilt Commodores, led by second-year head coach Clark Lee, offensive coordinator Joey Lynch, and defensive coordinator Nick Howell. Clark Lee, second year, they went 2-10 last year. They have some key players returning, and Anthony Orjai, linebacker, led the Commodores in tackles last year with 92, had 13 tackles for loss, and was probably their best overall defensive player. They have running back Ramon Davis, the clear starter for them, ran for about 211 yards before suffering a season-ending injury last year. They have Will Shepard at wide receiver, second on the team last year in receptions, and had 577 receiving yards while scoring 4 touchdowns as just a sophomore. They had some key losses in Cam Johnson, the wide receiver, 3-year starter at slot. They lost their starting left tackle Tyler Steen, who transferred to Alabama. He was a big-time transfer. I think it was a high 4-star rated transfer. They lost defensive tackle Rayshawn Wilkins. They don't really have much size on the D-line now that they lost Wilkins. They do have a rising star in wide receiver Quincy Skinner Jr., so hopefully Quincy can give them some explosiveness on offense. They did go out and sign 2 4-stars in 2022, and linebacker Daniel Martin. He led the class along with Jadarius Richard, safety out of West Monroe, Louisiana. Taking a look at the depth chart, as mentioned, they bring back Will Shepard at wide receiver, along with Quincy Skinner Jr. and Jaden McGowan. On the offensive line, they bring back 2 starters in Julian Hernandez and Bradley Ashmore. It looks like Gage Pitchford, the sophomore, along with Delphin and Xavier Castillo, is going to start at right guard, it looks like. I think Bradley Ashmore will be right tackle, just because Gabe Pritchard had experience last year at left tackle. A big plus for Vanderbilt at tight end, they have Ben Bresnan and Gavin Schoenwald, 2 seniors returning at tight end, which is huge. They have new quarterback Mike Wright Jr., and then they have Raymond Davis and Patrick Smith returning at running back. So production on the backfield and the tight end room should be very solid for Vanderbilt this year. On the defensive line, they bring back Davian Davis and Nate Clifton. I think Malik Langham will start at nose tackle. He's got the most size out of the guys on the defensive line. Their best player on defense, Anthony Orjai, as I mentioned, the inside linebacker, the leader of the team. They have Kane Patterson lined up next to him with Ethan Barr, also a possibility to start there. Cornerback, they have Jalen Mahoney and Jeremy Lucien, 2 seniors. They also have a pair of senior safeties in Maxwell Worship and Michael Owosu. Looks like Chase Lloyd will start at free safety if they choose to have Marlon Sewell as backup strong safety. That's what I'm kind of seeing right here. Maxwell Worship, he was a starter last year. Very good production in the back end. Last year, the rushing game, Rocco Griffin and Patrick Smith ran for a combined 900 yards and had 5 touchdowns. But Ramon Davis, the projected starter, he ran for 211 yards last year on just 44 carries. Important stats for Vanderbilt last year. They ranked 127th in offensive efficiency, 111th in defensive efficiency. They ranked near dead last in offensive explosive plays. They ranked 120th in explosive plays allowed. They were not good at finishing drives. They ranked 109th on offense in finishing drives. They ranked 95th in turnover margin at minus 2.7 average. Vanderbilt did not finish in the top 100 for any team stats. They averaged 15 points per game and 312 total yards per game, which ranked for 128th nationally. They had 123 yards per game on the ground, which was 103rd. 189 yards per game passing, which was 104th. On defense, they allowed 36 points per game, which was 119th in the nation. Allowed nearly 200 yards per game on the ground, which was good for 107th ranked. Allowed 264 yards per game in passing, ranked 114th, and then they ranked 118th in total yards allowed at 457 yards per game. Those numbers last year were good for a 2-10 record, 0-8 in the SEC, with losses against East Tennessee State, Stanford, Georgia, Florida, South Carolina, Mississippi State, Missouri, Kentucky, Ole Miss, Tennessee. They beat Colorado State and they beat UConn. Looking ahead to 2022, I have them going 3-9 with wins against Hawaii and Elon to open the year. They play Wake Forest, which is a loss. I think they'll win at Northern Illinois, with then losses against Bama, Ole Miss, Georgia, Missouri, South Carolina, Kentucky, Florida, and Tennessee. The only games I really see them being competitive in is the game at Missouri and possibly the Florida game. Florida and Vanderbilt always seem to have a battle on their hands. Also, that Wake Forest game. If we see Wake Forest from last year, it's probably going to be a blowout. But you just never know. Third game in the season, Vanderbilt could keep it competitive. But other than that, I have them going 3-9. Maybe they'll sneak a fourth win in there, but I just don't see that happening for Vanderbilt this year. That's going to do it for today's video, guys. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I hope you all have a great day. I'll catch you in the next one.